So see, we're honored in this house. We just don't have someone here who's a novice at what he does. That's the appropriate way to say it. But when I came to this ministry over 2 decades ago, and I'm going to be honest, is that okay? All right, y'all want to hear from me? All right, okay, all right. All right, when I came to this ministry over 2 decades ago, I didn't understand who this man was. I have here, he was very demanding. He always seems to be on assignment. Is that all right, y'all? Okay. He's focus driven. And don't need an amen corner, but y'all okay. But he was a man of great wisdom. He still is. But the refusal in me of change, or I could say my issues or excuses or baggage or hurt, caused friction. There was a friction because I refused to change. We're a restoration house, amen? We don't even know why God, sometimes we're in a place we don't even know where we end up here. But there was something inside of me that needed change. But then when I hit the mantle of a father, there was no change taking place on that end. The change had to take place on my end. I remember when I disobeyed counsel. And yeah, I did. I know. Yeah. But the shepherd in him gave me another chance. Y'all want to know what he said? He said, I can remain in this church if I follow counsel. He didn't stutter when he said it. He was direct when he said it. I had a choice. I said, okay. That was kind of hard. But he didn't want the other sheep to get poisoned by what I was going through. Sometimes when we're hurt and we want everybody to know we're hurt. We want to show our scars. And because of my disobedience, I wanted to tell my story. But I didn't tell you that I was disobedient to voice. But in Proverbs 22:10, listen here, it says, cast out the scorner, and the contention will go out. Yea, strife and reproach shall cease. But I love the message. It says, kick out the troublemakers. Wow. And things will be quiet down. Things will quiet down. You need a break from bickering and griping. My disobedience caused me a 12-month-long journey. And I can relate, I think Bishop just shared about mom throwing it, told me don't throw in the towel. But I remember at the time of this, it was hard. Okay, y'all, I couldn't pick up a call. I couldn't pick up the phone and tell nobody my story. I had one assignment, and that was to get through this long journey because I caused it on myself. And I would get a call sometimes in the middle of the night after just very going through, and he would say, pick up the phone, pick up the towel and stand. That was the pastor. All right? Not talking about Pastor Pitt, I'm talking about Bishop. I felt like I was in a boxing ring and I was just fighting, and I get in that corner like I can't go back in there, and all I hear is the bell, ding, ding. he clean up the bloody nose, clean up the eyes, go back out. Okay. Have y'all ever seen the man, Cinderella Man, the movie? That's a great movie. There's one part of that's my favorite, is when it was really hard time. And the mother they couldn't feed the oldest one. So they had several kids, but she gave one of the older kid away. And the dad said no. He went bet and got his baby. He said, family sticks together.
Glory to God.
That's a good movie. But I came to a Bible study one night. It was a Wednesday night. I tell you, I was tore up from the floor up.
Okay.
I didn't have no makeup on, but that's fine. My hair wasn't on, that's a problem. I had a hat on my head, that's another problem. And I looked a mess. I think I just threw some jeans on or something, and I'm coming to Bible study because I want somebody to throw a lifeline out to me. But I had a father that came straight to me before we went in the pulpit. He said, go into that restroom, find a comb, and do something with yourself. And come back because I'm about to start. Then y'all wonder why y'all celebrate the way she does. Trying to tell you my story. But it took a father to do that. And after this long journey, I realized he was a father. I didn't know really what the mantle of a father is. Because of course I had my biological father, but he was a great provider and, he loved and took care of us, but there was something missing. And I thank God for Charity today. And I don't know if you remember this, but after that long journey I went through, that 12-month period there, I realized that this man and this woman of God, they care about me. And it's for real. They love me. They love my family. And I didn't come in this church and say, oh, Daddy. Couldn't do that. Because Daddy and Mama was very sacred to me because I lost both of my parents. And I don't think it's a cliche or, something casual. I want to hook up with you casually. I don't want to be hooking up. But I asked Charity and I asked Erica years ago, I said, is it okay for me to call your dad Daddy? That was my right. Because I know and I saw and I watched how he nurtured his girls. He takes very good care of his girls. He will fight for his girls. He'll fight for his wife. He'll fight for his family. He'll fight for this ministry. That's why I had to get myself together. You all probably won't know. El Salvador probably wouldn't be nowhere around up in here. And I can respect that, sir, because you have to answer to God for our lives. Just like parents, we can't. If our kids get to a certain age and they want to bow up at us, it's time for them to go. This is our house. Kids, when the kids become the leader and the ruler of the house, something is wrong. How bad do you want them? I want them that bad. Because I got to have my peace. My children got to make a decision. They have to make that decision. But to go on, I just thank God for my bishop. And it's so important to be connected to those who are connected to them at the time. Because they taught me how to pray for the Spirit. There's a difference. I couldn't be connected to the flesh, and we can never be connected to the flesh because flesh is conditional. Okay? But once you're connected to a person's spirit, it's like we in this for the long haul. And I know there's plenty more fights and battles we're going to have to face. But we have to know we have someone in our corner who's going to give us some water, clean us up, and tell us to go back because the ding-ding, the bell has rang again. I had my biological father, and I just came across that this morning, for 21 years. He was in my life for 21 years. I'm 45. And this year, the second week of March, I celebrate having my spiritual father for 22 years. So I just so celebrate you. Thank you. Salute you, sir. Thank you so much for not giving up on me. Thank you.
And as you were talking earlier, you were
talking about your dad, I thought about my dad, who I consider as a hero. I was definitely a daddy's girl, right? A daddy's girl. And in 1998, my father passed, but during that time, before, about a year or so before he passed, he was very, very ill. And I had Bishop, to go to talk to about it, and we prayed, and I was just thinking this week, I was saying that I, would come in and talk today about how he walked me, through that process. It was just the hardest process. Like you said, that was the hardest thing that you've been through. That was one of the hardest things that I've been through, because my daddy was just, I was just so close to him. And got, with Bishop, and, he talked to me, and we prayed about my father, and he talked about the condition that he was in, and saying, is he, is the storm too strong? The storm might be too strong for him to stand. He may not have that level of word in him to stand through this tough storm. And so I believe that he kind of started preparing me in a sense, and so it would get rough sometimes. I would go to Douglas to see him, and it would be rough, and come back and just talk with Bishop, and he would walk me through. Sometimes I would come in I remember coming in on Sunday and just kind of crying in both of their arms, just kind of just breaking down, and it's nothing like just, I guess, having somebody to walk you through those trials in your life. So that's why I was saying softening the blows of life was, if I could sum up, what Bishop has been in my life, softening those blows. But but my father was very ill, and just to watch him go through that. But then to have people standing in the gap for me, knowing that they're praying for me, knowing that I could call on them at any time, and just to walk me through that. And sure enough, he did pass. And Bishop and Bishop Mom, they went, to Georgia. They went to the service, just were right there the whole time through, just every step of the way through this tough thing in my life. And even afterwards, being there, just to talk to him. And I knew that, my natural father was gone, but I knew that I had you, and that I could always, go to you and talk to you, and you would be there for me, and just to speak strength in my life, just to be there. And I'll never forget that. I'll always be grateful for that. Sometimes I think about him now, and I miss him dearly. I miss him greatly. He died at the age of 62. I'm thinking 100, but 62 came, and he was gone, But you were there for me, and really walked me through that process. At that time, boy, there was a lot going on in my life. And I think a week after my father's homegoing, then we got married, Thomas. And I got married a week later. Bishop married us, and we had a wonderful wedding. And so there was so much going on in my life, but I knew that I had you right there to kind of walk me through all these things. And it's been a journey, a strong journey, a great journey. And and I want to thank you for believing in me too. Who would have ever thought, not me, that I would ever be a pastor. I wouldn't ever thunk it, because one of these right here, y'all can have this. No, thank you. I'm not a talker. I will talk about certain things. I am very passionate about certain things, but there's a lot that I you can hardly get some words out of me. But he believed in me, and groomed me, and through the years, letting me know, that you can do this, training me lots of time, going through the Word, and I can ask questions, and look where God has brought me from, look where God has taken me, and I just bless the Lord for you. Even when I got ordained, and right afterwards, and how there was a struggle with me, because I was doing what I was already doing. Like, you're not gonna, it's not like this was something totally new, but I was already flowing in that role. And so I just received ordination, and an official ordination and papers, but it seemed like after that I got really scared. And so, he met with me. He was so patient with me, but he met with me, and just be yourself. I don't want you to change into somebody else, and really had to walk me through it, because I thought that, oh boy, I gotta be strong now. I gotta, I really gotta that, I can do this and blah, blah, blah. But he just sat down and you're talking about eternal patience.
Right.
Just eternal patience, even through the years. Many times I cried. I'm probably real, easy to get my feelings hurt back then. I'm toughened up quite a bit now. I'm not as easy, but, our personalities are totally different in a sense, but I worked with Bishop, as a secretary first after coming in, I think like in 1990, 91, worked as a secretary there in the office and was learning so much about the ministry, going and, he was just showing me about pastoring, going and taking care of the widow, going to the hospital and, and visiting the sick and what it's all about. And, and then I did praise and worship back then as well. I think Elder Terrell was leading, but as the years went by and I began to take over that area, there were many times that I came in on a Sunday morning and I would be, have my feelings that got hurt. Sometime during that week, something he said to me, but he always told us that we can't get up in front of people, we can't minister and have things going on. You have to release it. And I would have cried all the way to church, but when I got ready to sing, I had dealt with it and the Lord had touched my heart and, had told me to release him, Lord Jesus. Yes, but he can be somewhat hard. But through it all though, but I guess knowing your heart, sir, knowing that, all of it was for my good and there was always, everything was deliberate. There's always a track. So all of you, there's a track that you're on. Everything is deliberate. Remember that.
He has to frown.
Yeah. Everything is deliberate. And so there's a training, there's a track that you're on. And so just know that that is hard for you is that you really grow, be developed, and do what God has called you to do in life. Because I never imagined even to be called a pastor or anything like that. But all the while though, God had already told him, giving him the plan, and he was just grooming and training me. And I know there's still a lot more to go, but I believe that I've come a long way. And I'm thankful for all the training, all the development, all the teaching, just so much. We could go on for days. 20 years, we've had some great adventures, some a lot of things that we've been through down the years together, but God is faithful, and that's one thing too. God is faithful. I got that from Bishop, amen. God is faithful. God is faithful. And many times when different things are going on or might be a hard time, one thing that I can count on him to say is God is faithful.
Yes. And
so I knew that, it might be looking a little shaky now, but it's going to be all right. Amen. He always told me, don't panic. If you don't see me panicking, don't panic. So just so, hey, and I take that, that's fine. Amen. And so, but still kind of shaking a little bit. But I wouldn't nobody know it, But just to be up under great leaders, I'm grateful, and I just thank God for this opportunity. There's so many things that we could share today. Elder and I were down through the years in the office and so forth. You have something? Go ahead.
I just want to make a comment. I had a friend that went to on a missions trip, and when she got over to this missions trip, apparently was a lot of demonic activity, and she had some issues going on, and she lost her mind over there. And she stayed over there, I think maybe a couple of months. She was just completely out of it. And her pastor didn't even go and get her. And I was like, I was talking to, I think, my friend on the phone. I was like, my bishop would have been over there the first day. He would have been over there and got me, or got whoever. Any one of you all, he would have went over there and got you.
Yes.
And I could not believe that they let her stay there all that time. And nobody from the church went and got her. Wow. So we are in a safe house. And if you notice, if you listen to some of our testimony, how Bishop kind of dealt with us all differently. If you notice how we are kind of dealt with all differently. And you know who does that? The Lord does that.
Yeah.
Amen. And he has just a wonderful gift of doing that. I don't know how he does it. But each person, you're special to him. Each one of you all. And he have a track for each one of you all. But we just have to submit.